Morning everyone. Sorry we're a bit late starting this morning. I had to take Clive down for his service, so Mr. Edgell was a bit chatty and we got a little bit delayed this morning, but hopefully you're joining in with me now. So if you don't know, Clive is my Mini, and he's 1979 Mini 1000, and he's now having his brakes sorted out and everything fixed. So we've been popped down to Westfield just to drop the car down. It's very chilly again this morning. I think actually, although it's not frosty and that, there's a really cold wind. So if you are going out and about for your exercise later, make sure you wrap up warm. It's definitely on the chilly side. Hopefully everyone's feeling well and fit and raring to go for the next week. What we'll do, Shibashi set, we'll do warm up first. We're going to concentrate on the bottom half of the body, how that's moving or not, as we work through the set. So that's the plan for today. Hi Sally, hi Chris and Janet as well. So we're going to stand up, getting ready for the warm up. Feet facing forwards, hip bone distance apart as we start. Think about how your body's standing. So try and get equal weight through both feet. Slight tilt back of the pelvis. Slight soften of the knees, so not dead straight on the legs. Bit of length through from the collarbone, pulling you up to lengthen the front of the body. And length again through the crown of the head. And we're just going to start by moving the head slowly from right to left. I better take my scarf off, I think, so you can see what I'm doing. So just a gentle stretch out through that neck. Then drop the chin down. You're going to do a half circle, looking from one side to the other. And a little bit of movement. Gently stretching the neck. Remember, anything hurts, don't go that far. Just go to where you're comfortable. And then bringing the head back to centre, you're just going to move the eyes to look up, down, right and left. Up, down, right, left. Up, down, right and left. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and let them drop. Bring them up, let them drop. One more, bringing both shoulders up. Let them drop. Then one shoulder up and down. Other shoulder. So alternating shoulders. Just getting a bit of movement in the shoulder joint. And then we're going to take one arm, doesn't matter which one, circle the whole arm forward and around. Big a circle as you can manage. You're still facing forwards with the body. And then circle it back. Changing arms, coming forwards. Now that's going back. All right, I'm going back first on this one. Back and around. And then circling the other way. I might have one of those days today. Things don't start quite how you imagined. You get a bit delayed. Okay, drop the arms. If you've got a cushion or an inflatable ball, then grab that now. It can just be a small cushion, normal cushion like this. Just keep those feet facing forwards. What you're going to do is either hold the ball or the cushion in one hand. We're going to pass it around the body. Like this. So you're just going round one way, either with your ball or your cushion, moving around the body. And try and get it a bit faster if you can. without dropping the cushion, and then take it back round the other way. So we're going round clockwise first of all, anti-clockwise. So if you've got a Pilates ball you can use for this, or just grab a cushion off the sofa. We'll take it back the other way. Try and get a bit of speed up now. And then one more round in reverse. Lose your cushion. Okay, we're now going to bring the hands out to the front, soft elbows, soft wrists, and just circling the hands in, circling them both inwards. Open hands, trying to keep the movement just at the wrists. The shoulders are relaxed and down. Take the hands back the other way. Circling those wrists around. Good. Now I'm going to take two fists, knuckles facing away from you. Get strong in your stance. Stretch those fingers out nice and wide. Back into fists. Then a big stretch out of the fingers. So you're trying to get as much space as you can between each finger. Into fists. We'll do one more. Big stretch out. Then we're going to stretch out the inner wrist. So take the right hand palm up. Gently pull back on the fingers, straightening the arm if you can. And bring the arm to whatever level you need to feel that stretch. Don't force it at all. It's quite a hard stretch if you've been doing a lot of things with those hands. Don't stretch them back this way very often at all. Other hand, fingers pulling back. Stretching out the inner wrist. So you're trying to get this kind of angle with your arm. Just go to wherever you can comfortably get. Heels of hands into the lower back, pushing down and out, kidney wiping, pushing down and out, working those shoulders. Don't worry about your hands meeting or not, we're trying to get some speed up. The more you do this, the more range you'll get in those shoulder joints. We're trying to do about 30 of these if we can. And something as well you can try and do every day. So when you get out of bed in the morning, have a side bend, have a roll down, and do a minute's worth of kidney wiping. Release the hands. Going to just give a brisk swing around the body, tapping the front of the shoulders. Then we're going to take one hand up and one hand down. So big side stretch, trying to get length through both sides of the body. Changing sides, reaching up to the sky, pushing down to the ground. Lengthening both sides of the body, so we're not side bending, you're just turning the head and then glancing up towards that hand. One more to each side, so try not to hold your breath, you should be able to breathe through the stretch. Taking one or two breaths and then changing sides. Nice and tall. Drop the hands, stretch across the chest, bow and arrow. So one arm's out long, you're pointing the finger, pulling back across the chest and looking down that long arm. Turn your head towards that pointed finger. Changing sides, pointing out and pulling back. Drop the arms, going to circle the hips round one way. Like you've got a hula hoop. and then take them back the other way. So the head's staying still in space. Everything's moving from the waist. That's the cat just come in case you heard the flap. Okay, down to the knees. Going to give the knees a good rub. Look towards the floor so you're not putting stress into the back of the neck. Rub all in and around that knee joint. Hello, Tubbs. So those haven't met her before. This one's Granny Tubbs. It's a bit damp. Then fingertips on the knees. We're going to circle both knees inwards. If this hurts your knees at all, just keep rubbing them. And then circle the knees out. I'm going to help today, are you? Okay, fingers on the knees, look up to the right, back through the centre and to the left. Centre to the right, centre to the left. One more to each side. And straightening back up. Okay, take the right foot very slightly forwards. The cat out of the way. And lift and lower from the toes to a gentle heel stretch. So lift the front of the foot up, feel the stretch through the calf and put it back down on the cat's tail. Lift the toes up and down. One more. Then we'll turn the foot and leg out to the side and lift and lower. I don't know what's up with this cat today. She's really got a flea up her bum. Lift and lower. Stepping back, same with the other foot. So you're not going to see it at all because there's a cat there, but the other foot's slightly forwards and we're lifting and lowering the toes. So at least 3 slow lift and lowers to start stretching that calf out. And then turn the whole leg and the foot to the side. Keep the pelvis facing forwards, head still facing forwards. Lift and lower from the toe. You should feel that and then all right up the side of your leg into the glutes. Stepping back. I'm going to raise a heel up. Doesn't matter which one. You're coming up onto the ball joints of that foot. Circle the ankle round one way. And then circle it back around the other way. Drop the heel down, changing sides. So raising the heel, coming up onto the ball joints of the foot. You're circling the ankle, you're moving the leg in the hip joint. And then back round the other way. Heel down. We're going to finish by marching through the feet. We won't do the toe taps today. We'll march toe, toe, heel, heel. Outside foot, inside foot, inside foot. I'll move here a little bit. Toe, toe, heel, heel. Out, in, in. 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 Just move now. Now we're going to do that once more, but if you usually start with your right foot, start with your left. So you're starting leading on the opposite leg. Toe, toe, heel, heel. Out, in, in. You'll find it a lot harder because you'll favour one way all the time. Toe, toe, heel, heel. Out, in, in. Toe, toe, heel, heel. Out, in, in. One more. And that's it, warm up done. So for those of you who have not been with these classes very long, the warm up, I start at the top of the body, working my way down. You don't have to remember to do that every time before you practice. Just do bits of it that you need. If you've got particularly stiff shoulders, then make sure you're getting those moving before you start. If your problem is always the knees or your feet or your ankles, then concentrate on those. But just make sure you get a little bit of movement, a little bit of stretching before you start. As always, keep drinking the water. And let's have a look. Who have we got on board? Hi Lynn, hi Tina. Sally, saw you before. Hi Jane, good morning. Hi Nanny Blossom. I've no idea if I really know you in real life or not, but I feel like I do now, Nanny, because you've been joining us from the first lockdown, I think, referred probably by somebody else. So yeah, it's great. Great, you're still finding some entertainment from this, and hopefully a little bit of use. Hi Connie. Right, so we are going to concentrate on the bottom half of our body. The two rules I'm always, I say shouting at you, I don't think I shout, I try not to shout. It's a 70% effort and knees back behind toes. And we're going to think about the knees behind the toes in particular today. So, as we're going up and down, I'm going to turn side on because it's much easier for you to see. If you take your feet to shoulder width or a little bit wider apart, that's the position our legs are in for actually doing the Shibashi. Making sure those feet are facing forwards. Now the really important thing is that you're not leaning at all with the torso. As you're going up and down, the torso's staying straight. So you've got to think about length in the front of the body. So if you can imagine there's a hook pulling you long through the chest bone, that's length here. We're also looking at the pelvis being very slightly tilted back, so we've got a neutral spine going up and down. Your spine shouldn't be dead straight. We are looking to have a curve in it. It's got its natural curves as the spine's going out and in and out. And we want that. We want the body to be staying upright. So think about the head being upright, your golden thread pulling you tall as you're lowering down and coming back up. So the up and down movement is not huge. We're not expecting you to be squatting all the way down. But if you're used to doing squats in class, think of it as the start of your squat. You're looking at the feet having equal weight through both of them. So you can become quite aware if you're favouring one side to push up more than the other. We're trying to get that equally balanced. Think about the weight being in the heels of your feet as much as in the toe joints as we're lowering down. Now the knees do go slightly forwards. They're going to go forwards a little bit. They're always going to go forwards a little bit. But when you're down, in your down position, straight up through the body, then just tilt your head to look down and you should clearly still be able to see your toes. What we don't want is the weight going forwards like this, so you're in a bit of a sway position. And when I look down now, my toes are well back behind my knees. My top half of my body's also starting to do this. So think about being straight and long from the pelvis to the base of the neck. The head should follow, so it shouldn't drop forwards or back. And that section of the body is staying straight as we go up and down. So that's what we're thinking of. Now a lot of people don't realise, especially as you get older, how important it is to keep the strength in the top of the legs. If you're used to doing squats, then keep doing squats. Every time you get up and down from a chair, you're using these legs. If you want to, if squats are a bit hardcore for you, then we'll do it with the chair. When you're sitting on the chair, feet are flat, you've got a nice right angle in these legs. Keep your hands resting gently on the thighs, and you're going to lean forward, but you're still keeping fairly straight with the body, and stand up with no hands. Then sit down with no hands. Stand up with no hands, and sit down with no hands. You'll find that day to day, a lot of us will rely on holding on to something. We'll grab something, heaving ourselves up. Try and keep the strength in these legs, especially if you're not moving much. And you can just do 10 of these. Try not to plummet too much. I do. I haven't got as much strength as I should have in these legs. As you're coming back down, as slow and controlled as you can. Right. So that's the bottom half of our body. And then we're thinking about the feet all the time. In the centre of the foot, we've got an acupressure point, which if you've had anything like Reiki or reflexology, those sorts of treatments, acupuncture, then you'll be a little bit aware of how sensitive our feet are and how all these nerve endings are in the bottom of our feet. The one in the centre of our foot is referred to bubbling spring in Tai Chi, which is quite a lovely name. And all the rocking and moving we're doing on our feet is going to stimulate the bubbling spring point. Get everything moving. So, enough waffle, ready to start. Feet facing forwards, hip bone distance apart to start with. Soften the knees. Think about getting your body into position, ready to step out. So nice, relaxed. Close your eyes if you need to. Think about a little tilt back with the pelvis. This is not exaggerated. It's not a huge bum sticking back. It's just a little tilt back. Arms are soft and relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed and down. Make sure you're not gripping with the bottom. Bottom should be nice and relaxed and smooth. It's not all squidged up. Breathe in slowly. In and out through the nose, or in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you take a breath in, feel the stomach expanding. And then squeeze that air out from the pelvis. Take a breath in. And out. We're going to step out to commence. So stepping out at least shoulder width apart. Make sure you're nice and firm on the ground. Feet facing forwards. We're going to start. We're going to lower ourselves slightly before we breathe in. Bringing those hands up. And breathe out. We lower it all down. So you're only going up and down a small amount. Keeping the top of the body in a nice neutral spine. Breathing in, hands coming up. Straightening up through the legs, thinking long and tall. And then lowering back down. So your knees should be staying nicely back behind the toes. Equal weight in both feet. And we're trying to think about the bottom half of our body is like the strong trunk of a tree. From the pelvis upwards, you're the limbs and the arms, the branches of the tree. So this is where all the movement's coming from. But we're thinking nice and solid here. So if somebody came up with a little stick and gave you a poke in the back of the leg, you shouldn't move at all. It's solid and rooted to the ground. Breathing in. And out. Okay, moving on. Bringing the arms out and wide, opening one's chest. Breathing out, lowering back down. Breathing in, long and tall on that in-breath. And breathing out, lower back down. Breathing in. I was just thinking I should have put my luminous yellow trousers on because it's really easy to see my knees on that. Breathing in, arms coming up. So don't worry too much about the top of your body, just concentrate from that pelvis down. That's what we're thinking about. Breathing in and out. We'll do one more. Take an in breath and breathing out. Dancing with rainbows. So you're going to sink into one leg. As you bring the hands up, we're going to breathe in, turn the head to the side, and we're straightening this leg and bending this one, the direction you're turning. Breathing out, changing the legs over. Breathing in. So feet are still facing forwards. Breathing out. You're shifting your weight into that bent leg. Breathing in. Keeping the torso nice and straight. Breathing out. Head's just turning. Feet are still facing forwards. They haven't moved yet since we started. Breathing out. And in. And out. So again, don't worry so much about the top half of the body. Concentrate on what's going on at the bottom half. You might feel a stretch in the inner thigh as you reach away. You're changing your centre of gravity and pushing the weight of your arm out all the time. You're really working the bottom half of your body a lot more than you might realise. Breathing out. Okay, circling arms. So we're going to bring the hands back to centre. We're going to lower down as we bring the hands down on the out breath. Crossing at the wrist, straightening up through the legs, breathing in. And out. I'm going to step back a little bit. My hands are going off screen then. Breathing in. Straightening up through the legs. Breathing out, lowering down. So feel those thighs working. Breathing in. And out. Make sure those feet haven't moved, they're still facing forwards. Lowering down. And try and be really conscious about both legs working the same amount. You'll favour one side, we all do. So try and level it up. If you think the left one's not working hard enough, send your thoughts there. Breathing in. And out, lowering down. Last one, breath in. And out. Then bring the hands palm up. We're going to drop to one side. So knees are staying slightly bent, but you're turning the top of the body around. You take a breath in, reaching the front arm away. And the other one back and over at the ear level. Breathing out, palms cross to the front. You turn into the side. So keeping the knees slightly bent. Breathing in, arm comes up and over. Breathing out. Feet are still facing forwards. Breathing in. And out. You feel a bit of movement from the hips, but try and get most of the twist coming from the waist. Breathing out. We're trying to keep our hips as still as we can facing forwards. Breathing in and out. So you're only turning as far as you can without too much movement from the pelvis. Do one more to each side. Breathing in, reaching forwards with the palm up. Breathing out, back through centre. Last one to this side. Breathing in and out. Hands drop into the side. So you've still got soft knees. Going to take a breath in, bringing the arms up, straightening up through the legs. Breathing out, lowering it down. This is your rowing a boat. Breathing in, straightening up, coming tall through the crown of the head. Breathing out, lowering down. Breathing in. I know a lot of people are concentrating so much on getting the top part of the movement right that it's easy to forget what's going on at the bottom half. Lowering down, so lower down, you're dropping an inch, 2 if you can. Breathing in, coming up. And breathing out. Try to keep the weight so you're not rolling onto the outside or inside edges of the feet. And just make sure you're not leaning forward, especially as you bring those arms down. So we're keeping straight through the front of the body. Okay, straightening back up. We're now going to lift a heel and a hand as we reach across the body. Breathing in, palms up. Turn that palm as we come back through centre. Soften both knees and drop the heel down. So holding a ball, we're reaching to the side. You're going to raise a heel. Still soft at the knee, both knees soft. Reaching across, just using your toes to balance and breathing out back through centre. So we'll do one more each side with just the heel lift like this. You're aiming so you're coming right up onto those toes. They're just there to balance you. Breathe in as you reach to the side and breathe out through centre, lowering the knees. If you can, lift the heel on that standing leg too. That's only coming up a little bit. You don't have to think about this coming inches off the ground, just take the weight off. It might still be that you've got your sock almost touching the ground. Come up to wherever you can comfortably balance. Breathing out. So again, lifting both heels if you can. Breathing in. And lowering back down. And you're trying to get that lower down so they're both lowering at the same time. Breathing in. And out. And a breath in. Last one now. And out. Heels staying flat. We're going to carry on the way we're moving. This time, carrying the moon, breathing in and out. So we've not got quite so much up and down. You are doing a slight straighten on that in-breath as you turn, and a little softness of the knees on the out-breath through the centre. Breathing in, so everything's still moving. Carrying the moon, breathing out. Breathing in. Turning to the side, glancing back under that armpit. Breathing out through centre. Breathing in. And out. Soft knees, you can still see those toes. Breathing in and out. So we've got our out breath through centre, now changing to twist, waist, push, pull. Take a breath in, slightly straighten through the legs as you carry on turning to the side. Breathing out as you push the heel of the hand away. Breathe in, you turn back to centre. Breathe out. And in. Now, what are those feet doing? Breathing out. And in. They should both still be facing forwards. As you push the hand away, you'll feel the weight in the leg on the same side change. You're pushing your weight into this standing leg again, working that standing leg. So the other one, although it's staying flat to the floor, is being used more for balance, pushing away. You're really solid through those legs. Pushing away, soft knees. Okay, pushing out now, playing with clouds. So we've got our soft knees, we're going to turn the hand to face, that's bringing it in towards the face. Bottom hand's near your tummy button at the lower dantian. And we're going to take a breath in as we turn as far as we can comfortably get to the side. Change the hands round. Remember, top elbow leading the way, breathing out. Now we're looking at equal weight through both of those feet. Breathing out. Feet are still facing forwards, knees are still soft. And breathing out. Again, we're trying to keep the pelvis facing forward as much as possible so the twist is coming from your waist. Breathing out. So if you can only get as far as this before your pelvis starts to come with you, just stop here. Change round. Breathing out. And in. And out. So we're trying to keep the hip bones facing forwards all the time. Coming back, and as we reach the side, we're going to go into scoop in the C. So now you move this leg half a step forward and turn it so it's facing the direction we want to travel. Back leg stays facing forwards. We're going to scoop the C, lifting the back heel. And then dropping that heel and raising the front toes. Breathing in. So your back leg's being used for balance. And then it's taking your weight. Breathing in. And out. And as you raise these toes, keep that knee soft, not locking that leg out. Especially if you're coming back quite a ways, it's very easy to throw the leg back. We want to keep a soft knee. Breathing in. Scooping the C. Breathing out, reaching up to the stars. Keep this movement as deep as you want. Coming back. Or keep it smaller. Same movement with the arms. Just keep a smaller circle. We're going to change sides. So as his arms lower down, step the foot back. Turn the other one. Make sure this standing one is facing forwards. Breathing in. Out. You'll probably find one side is much easier to work on. Breathing in. So thinking about the feet, the legs, the knees. Nice gentle rocking motion through those feet. Breathing in. Staying this side, playing with waves, pushing those hands away, and then pulling the fingers back. Breathing out. So think about the feet, breathing in. And make sure this back leg, the foot's not turned. Breathing in, out, sorry, breathing out away. And breathing in as you pull back. So I think for a lot of people this is harder to balance because you're not using your arms to kind of stabilise you. You're keeping them in a nice line out with the torso. So it's much narrower for your field of balance. So if you wobble a bit on this, don't worry about it. The more you do it, the better you get. And as you breathe in, we'll come back to centre, change the feet around, facing forwards on that standing leg. Breathing out. And in. Rocking through the feet. Try not to speed up too much. Breathing out. And in. Remember, it's the whole foot's coming up, rocking back onto that heel, not just the toes. Last one of these, breathing out. And in. Have a little glance down, check this foot is still facing forwards and it's not going to join the other one. We're going to push the heels of the hands out. Turn the palms to face us, spreading wings, breathing in. Out. And in. So you might find if you're a bit wobbly on playing with waves, you're a bit less wobbly now because you've got your arms to kind of balance you up with. Breathing in as you pull the arms back. Breathing out as you come forwards. If you've been concentrating on these legs, they should be starting to fatigue by now. Breathe in, take the arms out and wide. We're going to change sides, so stepping back, making sure this one's facing forwards, and turning to the other leg. Bringing the heel up, and then heels down, toe up. Breathing out. And in. Breathing out. And as you lift that back heel, you should really feel it working right up through into the glutes, into your buttocks. Breathing out. And in. Again, be conscious of that front leg. We're not locking it out at the knee staying soft and relaxed. Do one more. Breathing out. And in. Coming back to centre, elbows into the sides, straightening up those feet. So both feet now facing forwards, soft at the knee. Double check through your position, pelvis slightly back, long through the front. Elbows in at the sides, knuckles facing up. So with soft knees, we're not going to be going up and down. We're going to just be Taking a breath in. And then holding that strong stance as you breathe out. Punch away. Breathe in. Pull it back. Breathe out. Punch away. Breathe in. Pull it back. So remember now, not fully extending that arm. Coming out at shoulder height if you can manage. This is a firm, powerful arm. And you're using your core muscles here to hold yourself in position. So you're nice and strong. So if somebody came back at you with one of these punches, you wouldn't move at all. You're glued to the floor. Last one to this side, punching away. Breathe in to pull it back. Release those hands, give the fingers a wiggle because you've been making fists. Little fingers to the front of the thighs. We're going to take a breath in. We're coming up onto the toes, flying like a wild goose. Breathing out. It's a slow lower back down of the heels. And then the little fingers return here. We're pelvis back, knees soft, still see those toes. Okay? Coming up, breathing in. And out. Now don't worry about coming up too high onto the toes. Come up to wherever you can balance. Breathing out. And try and concentrate on equal strength in both legs, especially on the lower. You'll really notice because one heel may well touch the floor before the other one. That's the one that's doing the most of the work. So in my case, it's my right leg. Breathing in and out. So I've got to make my left one work harder to make both heels touch the floor at the same time. Breathing in and out. And as you lower down, think bottom slightly back, pelvis slightly back. Breathing in. Feet are facing forwards and out. Do one more. I'm sure you all look beautiful doing this in your conservatories and your lounges. Breathe it out. Okay, both hands now. I'll do the smaller version today. You do the full version if you want to. Breathing in. Arms are coming around. Palms facing each other. Breathing out through the bottom of the movement. Now as you breathe in, slightly shift the weight into the standing leg. Breathing in. And then as you get to midday, you're straightening that leg and slightly sinking into the other one. Breathing out. So you're shifting that weight from one side to the other very slightly. It's not a huge movement. And out. So we're still keeping the knees soft. We've still got those feet facing forwards. Breathing in. But you are transferring the weight about 60-40 as you come down the opposite side. And give a little swing at the bottom. Breathing in. Coming all the way up. Shifting that weight slightly as you come down the side. Breathing out. Keeping the torso and the head facing forwards if you're doing this version. Head stays still. Breathing out. So exactly the same if you're doing just the forearms coming around. Feel that weight transfer even with the smaller circle. Out. Do one more coming up. Breathing in and out. Drop the hands, bounce in a ball. So take a moment, shift your weight whichever way you're going. I'm going into my right leg, so left knee's coming up, right hand's coming up. Breathing in. Changing sides. Feet still facing forward, soften that knee, shift the weight for the out breath. So we're going from one side to the other, breathing in and out. And try and get the hand to move the same sort of time as your knee is. So you can see on me, hopefully, the distance between my knee and my hand that's coming up is staying at the same tempo and the same sort of distance apart. And the leg you're bringing up. So if you are just doing a heel lift, carry on with your heel lift. Concentrate on slowing it down as much as you can. If you are bringing the knee up, let that foot dangle. So don't keep a rigid foot, you're letting it dangle from the knee as you come up. And back down. So let it dangle. And if you've got the balance, you know what's coming, knee comes up, and it's a lift and lower on that standing leg. So breathing out, lift and lower. Breathing in, lift and lower. So it's just slow motion, bouncing a ball. Lift and lower. Okay, feet come flat. Make sure they're still facing forwards. Shoulder width apart. So you might find they've come in a bit while we've been doing that. So check your stance again. Soft at the knees. Press palms to finish. So it's an in-breath as we straighten up through those legs. Bring the hands up to your nose. Turn the hands. And then breathe out. You're lowering it all back down. Breathing in. Turning the hands as you breathe out. Let you know what's happening with these legs and knees now, hopefully. Pelvis slightly back. These are really working. Breathing in. And out. Lowering down. If you're not sure about what's going on in the bottom part of your body still, then as you push down, have a look. Make sure you can still clearly see those toes. Breathing in. Out. Breathing in. And out. Last one. Big breath in. Okay, bring the hands up, soft prayer position. We'll step back to hip bone distance apart, bringing the hands down the center of the body, left and right hand onto the lower tummy. And again, adjust your positioning if you need to. So think about the pelvis going back, those knees are still soft. Feet are still facing forwards, there's no tension now in the body at all. As you breathe in, feel the tummy expand. And breathe out, squeezing that air from the pelvis through the stomach muscles till the rib cage is empty and drops. Breathing in, let it all go. And breathing out. Making sure as you're doing this breathing that you're not gripping with the buttocks, shoulders are relaxed and down, jaws nice and relaxed. A good length through the front of the body. One more big breath in, feeling the tummy expanding beneath those hands. And a breath out. You squeeze all that air out. Fantastic. How are we doing on time? What have we done? Oh, that's pretty good, I think. I think that's more than enough for you to think about. So you should all now feel feel you've really done a bit of work in the glutes. You've definitely been working these quads. The ankles and the feet feel nice and tingly, hopefully. We're going to give the hands a rub together. So to finish you off, which hopefully, I haven't finished anyone off yet. We're going to take the hands and rub them in and around the face, and dry washing the face. Try and touch around the hairline, all around the ears, behind the ears, back of the neck, under the chin. Really give yourself some TLC. And then into the scalp. Good pummel. There's a reason I do all this, and it does sound a bit daft, but people can get into such a sort of trance of relaxation rather than you going out and walking into something. Tap down the outside of the arms, or tripping over the cat, in my case. Tapping up the inside of the arms. Tapping down the outside of the legs as far down as you can get. And up the insides. And then wipe. Arms wiping away, inside arms wipe away, outside legs wipe away, and inside legs wipe away. Well done, everyone, if you stuck with that. I know it's a lot of listening to me today, which is not always so nice, but it's thinking about the bottom half of the body. So yeah, the little cool down is to sort of bring you back into the real world, so you can go and put the kettle on, make a brew, have a sit down. Who else have we got? Oh, hi Jane, there's another Jane on. And Linda. Right. So have a good week, everyone. I'm still decorating the kitchen. It's all the nice finishy bits now. So the bulk of the grotty stuff's done. So that's pretty good. Then I'll start on the utility, which is another job to do. So yeah, we're cracking on with chores here. Actually, there's something else I was going to mention to you guys, but it's gone from my head now. So yeah, the mini's in for its service. Hopefully, it's difficult now because yeah, I find that really useful. Oh, good, Connie. Yeah, because I know you're one of my newer students, and thinking of it's very difficult for me without seeing you doing the up and down movements. If I see you do it, I can straight away correct you, but obviously I can't see what you're up to, so trying to describe it so you get the idea is hopefully there. Don't think about going down too far and up too far. Just get the movement right, and the depth will come the more you do it. If you see some of the Chinese guys who have been doing this from forever, they get really low down, and it's fantastic. You actually look at them and you'll see that their feet are still solid to the ground. So yeah, I mean, if you want some inspiration, get online and have a look at what people are doing with the Shibashi, because you know how the move should go. You can then look at them and see how they're correcting themselves all the time. And you say, back to paint and fireplace. Lovely. I'd like to see a photo of that. Sally's painting a fireplace. Sorry, the comments got, oh dear, is it not going very well? Yeah, slowly, thin coats. Lots of them. Walk away from it. Go back and dry. That's the hard bit, because you want to get it done quick. It'll look lovely when it's done. It will look lovely when it's done, and I want to see photos. So yes, have a good week. Get in touch if there's any questions. Again, I'll be uploading this to YouTube now, so if you want to, you can pick the videos up either on YouTube or on Facebook. YouTube, Sharon Elizabeth Mead at the moment. I still haven't got a catchy name for it. If you can give me a like or subscribe over there, it'd be much appreciated. But that's about it for this week. Next week, what should we do next week? So we've sorted out the bottom half of your body. I think next week we'll go back and concentrate at the very top. So we'll be looking at the head and the neck and the eyes and thinking about thinking about a checkup from the neck up next week. So have a good week, guys, and love from me here and the fluffy cat that's legged it. We'll see you next week. Bye bye. Thanks for joining in.